Guys, my apology. Jesus Christ, my Wi-Fi just broke again. So sorry, so sorry. My Wi-Fi broke again, so there's nothing I can do about that. I cannot like guess what my Wi-Fi is going to do. Pretty hard to do it. Random dot float. Right, random dot float. No, it's not that. Random JavaScript. Math.random. Yes, math.random. Math.random. Math floor. Math.random. Nothing I can do about my Wi-Fi, guys. My apology. Cannot do anything though. Math.random. Random. This is going to be timed by 7, so it's going to be less than 7, more than 6. Math dot. Could this be floor? Right. What we can do here is return right. The return should be called dice count length. The return should be dice count. The function should have dice count as okay. Return dice count dot length equal. Can this work? Length. For testing purpose, call the function with dice count of 3 and log out the result. Oh, no. Should be this, right? Let's do get dice roll array. Dice roll is not defined. Ay. Dice count length. The return should be dice count length. Yes, I know this. The hard part is that how I'm going to do this. Create a loop function that use a for loop. Return array random numbers between 1 to 6. 1 to 6, right? So it's 1 to 6. The function should have dice count as parameters. And array return should be dice count length. For testing purpose, call out the function with dice count. So dice count. Run. Nope. log out the result. Let me try this. Console.log dice count. Then we console.log, and then we call the function get dice roll array. Call this run. Frick.
So we know the function is called get dice roll run, and let's just while and I'm going to
new dice roll. We have to declare that as well. Shame on me. Const new dice roll equal this. Has to declare. Forgot about this for loop thingy. Has to declare something in order for it to run. Alright, we'll do comments. And then let's dice roll dot length. Function should have a dice count as parameter, and the array the return should be dice count dot length. New dice roll. Console log. Run. Not working. Let's try. Return dice count integer 1. New dice roll dot length, and then call the function with dice count of 3. Dice count of 3.
initialize it to the values to new dice roll out to see if it is work before we tackle the random numbers.
Dice count less than dice count. Why is it dice count? What? Dice count dot length. No, it's no dot length. Should be return new dice roll dot push. New dice roll dot push. Push in the content. That's what it's going to be. I, right? Wait a minute. Return new dice roll dot push. So log dice roll, new dice roll. Why is it not printing out anything? Dice count is not defined. What? Scare me. Should be dice count. And then dice roll, new dice roll dot push. Push in these numbers. Right, we console log this. Fuck.
Random numbers. Let's not forget to add a console.log. Now later we'll be returning something, but we just want to log it out to see that it is.
Oh, we log it out right here. Try and run it as an open bracket. Why is it 1 to 6, right?
Working, and let's log out these new dice rolls that we're generating. Okay, so let's get down to some maths. Now, how are we going to get random numbers from 1 to 6 to represent a dice roll? Well, we can.
Now push. We do this. It's still a random new dice roll. So we do. Why is it not push in? Use dice roll. Right, that push open parentheses. It's in the wait. Loop through dice count. Should be. No, it's dice count. Why is it?
We actually call this function, and as it says in the instructions, we can just use a dice count of 3 just to simulate this. Hit save.
Ah, forgot. Jesus. Let's do 7. Right. Forgot to put in the parameter. The argument for the parameters. Frick. That's why it's not running. Have to put in an argument here. So it's now 3 less than 3. Going to be what? 2, 6. It's going to loop 3 times. 7 is going to be 7. Loop 7 times. Still has 0, so it has to do +1. +1. Run it. So 1, 3, 1, 6. Run it again. It's now 7 times, so it's supposed to be times 6 only. Right.
And see what we log out. Well, down in the console, you can see we're getting some random numbers and they're crazy long and they are all numbered. Okay, so if we multiply this by 6, dice don't give us decimal places and dice go from 1 to 6, not from 0 to 5. See down in the console, the symbols are 6, so there's no problem.
Alright, so we have to get the argument to the values, so that is loop going to run 3 times. 3. So I is less than 1. Going to run this dice count 3 times. 3 times. Run once. Okay. It's going to push in the first one. Push. Push it into this. Alright, we console log it out so we can see, but that now we have to display it. Now we're going to put it into here, somewhere around here. It's going to display it. Nice.
0.000 is a whole number, it's an integer. So in the rare cases,
Wow!
zero,
Complicated.
our dice would actually show 0. So that is why we use this +1, even if it does look a bit hacky. Okay, that is the challenge completed. I'm just going to take away this console.log and just return the new dice rolls. And obviously later we're going to be calling this function using the dice count from our characters. So that will be 3 for the wizard and 1 for the orc. But we'll come to that in a later scrim. And when you're ready to move on, I'll see you then.
Yeah, this is weird. This is kind of complicated, right? Wait, Scrimba, come on. Cancel this. I didn't save it. What? So we redo this again. We redo this. So what do we need first? We are going to need a function called function get roll dice roll. Array going to have parameters called dice count. Dice count. Now this is going to be this. Alright, we got a sexy function. Now we got move on to the next one. Call it new const new row new dice row equal, because this is a for loop, so we always has to declare. It's not like map where it's going to be automatically print out an array, which is kind of, now I can see why map is so useful. Map is better, but let's equal 0, and then we commas, and then we do I less than dice count, because it's going to be less than is going to loop 3 times, or loop as many times here as you want. Going to be looping through 3 times dice count. This dice count and dice roll kind of like, this is a dice count is the number of time that we roll the dice. Dice roll is basically the value that each roll give. So it's complicated. It's a little hard to understand this part. And then what do we do here? I plus plus. What is it? Why is it like this? It has to be this, I remember. Right? And then we do news right dice hard push. Going to push in what the random math function. This value is going to be shoved into, so later on this new dice roll is going to be here, right? And then the dice count is going to be here. This function is going to be here, and then the new this is going to be here. So we do math dot random open time it with 6, so it's going to be 5, and then math dot floor open bracket, we're going to +1. Why are you plussing 1 here? You might ask. Because it's going to loop 2 from, so this math random is going to loop integer. It's going to be float from 0 to 6, 0.999 to 6, but not including 6, so 9.99. Float. It remove all the decimal place behind it. So if it's like 5999, it's going to be 5. 0.999 is going to be 0, so we +1. So we got what, 1 and 6. We don't want 0, so we eliminate by +1. And then after this, we do console log. Right, we want to console log right here. Console log the new dice roll. And then we want to call the function once. Dice roll array. Let's get this. Now, how many times you want to loop through this? Basically, this is an argument, so you put 3 here. Oh, it's going to be 3. It's just for reusability. So we do 3, run. So now it's run 3 times. We want 10 times, because it's going to loop through 10 times, less than 1. So increment O1, O2, O3. Loop to 10 times. Yes. Right. That makes sense. But where's my thingy? I'll save it here.
But we'll come to that in a later scrim. And when you're ready to move on, I'll see you then.
Wow!
Okay, I want to take a second just to show you something that might look a little bit strange if you haven't come across it before. We're going to return a function inside a function. And that's something that you're going to see in the future, and we're about to use it in our app. So here's a demonstration of how it works. Here is Scrimba's very own Lotto. Every week we announce the 6 winning numbers right here on this webpage. One ticket holder is going to win big.
Wow.
Now the clever coders at Scrimba have learned to separate out their concerns as much as possible. This function, get lotto numbers, does one thing, and it does it well. It returns an array of these 6 winning lotto numbers that are created right here by math.random. So what it returns is an array of length 6, each element holds a random number from 0 to 99. Now as you can see here, something is missing. The numbers are not displaying on the screen, and we're rendering out these hard-coded question marks instead. Now, I think we can solve this problem. I'm going to create a new function called getWinningNumbersHTML, and just like getLottoNumbers, it's going to do one task well. And the first thing I'm going to do in this function is return the first function. So I'm just going to say return getLottoNumbers, and its brackets to invoke it. And now I want to show you why this is not just perfectly possible, but it's potentially a really good idea. Now let's start just by logging out whatever we get returned by this function we've just created. So let's just say console.log, and then I'm going to call the function right in here. And when I hit save, down in the console, we are getting an array of numbers between 0 and 99. Now that is really useful because now we've got access to the array of numbers that comes from getLottoNumbers right here in getWinningNumbersHTML. Now, of course, there are other ways of having access to that array. Perhaps we could set up a variable up here. It might need to be a global variable and then maybe take in a parameter here. But in this case, that's clunky and totally unnecessary. Now we've immediately returned getLottoNumbers. We can actually do some logic on the array that it's going to give us. console and we look down at these question marks, we can see that each one is inside a bit of HTML string. And if we pop back to the page, we can see this blue border surrounding each question mark. So how about we map over this array of numbers and we add some HTML string to each element in the array. So let's just chain a .map method right here. And we know that the .map method gives us a new array and we usually save that to a const, but there's no need for that. We can just return the new array right here. So let's give .map the function it needs, and we know the function takes in a parameter. Well, this array that we're getting is an array of numbers, so let's just call this parameter num. Now in the body of the function, we are going to write our second return of the function, and what we're going to return is an HTML string. So I'm just going to put it here between backticks, and of course, instead of the question mark, we need to use the dollar sign and the curly braces, and now we can bring in num. Okay, now I'm going to delete this console.log, and where we're rendering out these hard-coded question marks, let's just call getWinningNumbers HTML and invoke it with brackets. Now, if we hit save and open up the browser, there we are, we can see our numbers. And if I just hit save again, we will get different numbers each time. What you should also notice is these commas. So think for 1 second, how do we get rid of them? Do you remember?
First, join function, join method. Join. Okay.
Now, there's no challenge with this. I just wanted to show it to you before we tackle something similar in our app. When you're ready, move on to the next sprint, and I'll see you then.
This is wait, I want to see this again. Function get load of numbers, const winning numbers, is generate load of numbers. Winning numbers is going to be the result. Result is going to push into this list. This array. This winning number is going to be pushed into the winning numbers. And then you return winning numbers as the value of this. So this get load function is basically equal to this. Right? Function get winning numbers HTML. Return is returning this winning numbers, and then .map to run a loop again. So it's running a loop through this thingy, right? Going to be run 6 times, so 6 times going to run. It's going to map out all the numbers, so it's going to print out. Okay, so it's a return this random numbers 6 times, and then shove it into here. So it's basically get winning numbers is equal to div class numbers and then hash numbers, so 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then dot join to remove the separators between them. Right, I see. It's not that hard, but it's a little complicated.
We need to get random numbers into our dice to replace these hard-coded ones here. Now this challenge looks quite long, but it's not actually that bad. Let's go through it and see what I want you to do. I want you to set up a function called getDiceHTML. Now getDiceHTML should map over the array of dice rolls which are returned from the getDiceRoll array up here, and it should generate the HTML we need to render out our dice with random values. Now I've put the HTML string that when you're done, down in the render character method, we want to set dice HTML equals to our new get dice HTML function. So that is right down here. We have got dice HTML. So this is the code we're going to be changing. And the last item in the challenge is just a reminder, remove any code we no longer need. Now, because there is a bit to think about with this challenge, I have put a hint.md file up here, and that has got some pointers for you if you get stuck.
I will get stuck on this for sure. Oh my god, this look hard. Function, but let's do this. Yep. Dice HTML. That dice should map over the array of dice row. New dice row should map over the array. Alright, so we return this. No, this. Dot map, right? Map going to have what? It's going to have a function. Function. What should be the parameters of this? Be return from get row dice row to generate the HTML we want. We need to render out with random values, right? That's the HTML. Where should I put this? Should I put this? Where is this? Where is this? Here. Hint, your function should take care in dice count as parameters. Dice count. Why is it? This is brain hacking. Parameters and argument is brain hacking. As parameter should then return the array it gets by calling dice row. Remember to use as an argument. As an argument. Right, we do get dice HTML. It's going to have a function call 3. Right, get dice row array. Do I put in the dice count here? Map out. And then I want to display it. Turn this dice value here. What is the dice value? Where is it? Okay. Hash numbers. Get dice HTML. Delete any code that's not needed. Down by the renders character, set dice HTML equal to our new dice Think about parameters and argument. Going to be 3 here. Set our dice HTML down by the render characters. Set dice HTML equal to our new get dice HTML function. Dice HTML. Dice HTML is equal to dice roll.map. Why is it like this? Okay, I don't think I'm focused anymore. So we will rest. And then at night we will go back to this, run it, and then let's see how it's going to work. Run this slide back. Going to run this slide back, and then let's see if we